It's recording. All right. Welcome back to the Basketball Case podcast. This is your host, Rowlett, and my co-host.
I'm VivixTales.
I'm PuppetKat.
And I'm still gonna stick with what we said earlier. That we pretty much don't have much plan for today, but I've been playing. Well, not recently. I've concluded a game called Cyberpunk 2077, and it's been a very weird journey for me about the idea of what life means. What does it mean to truly be alive? And I gave a short synopsis of what the game is basically basically a quick summary of what the whole game is. And I wanted to hear your guys' point of view on, would you be accepting on dying? Would you be accepting about your own mortality?
It depends where I am in life.
Because we're pretty much young. We're like in our early 20s. But like later on in life, would you be accepting of the fact that like death is a thing, or even the peers around you?
Like, right now, I am perfectly fine. Later on, it depends on where I am in life, like Jasmine.
But like I said, like your peers, like your like family members, anybody, like like this thing has been like in my mind as of recently, like the idea of could like these people aren't gonna be here forever, and whatever they leave behind, or whatever words or anything they taught me that they left behind, how could it impact me later on? What could I do to keep their memory going? Since in a game there's a character that you just immediately start to like find interesting, and you start to really care for this character, to then be completely killed like really early on. And it made me think about like different, or like my siblings or like my friends, about if people that I know for a good while to then just die so early. I don't know, it just made me think, would I be as broken up about it as the character was? Or would I, because most of us, or most of anybody who's listening would in their past experiences have dealt with any grief. It's pretty hard to get through it. Are we prepared to go through that grief with someone that close to us? Or
I don't think anyone is really prepared to do that. Like, you can try to prepare, but it'll still break you down as a person at the end of the day, I believe.
But is it something that you would think that the other person would be would they be happy to know? Or how would you okay, so example, like me, like if like tomorrow, just like I bit the bullet tomorrow, would you be prepared to, or how would you react if knowing that for me, I would be very annoyed if anybody was sad about me passing?
Not to I just thought about this, but I think one thing I would hate about passing is that there will be people out there that will put my face in the clouds. Like, they will Photoshop me in clouds.
Like Harambe.
Why? Why?
That's the only thing that comes in mind.
Put you next to XX, and then Harambe and Etika, rest in peace.
Exactly.
The only person that... Oh, wait, never mind. I was gonna say other people, never mind. But like stuff like that, like people you see, or people you've grown up with, or people you just have a good relationship with, and just I don't know, it's just how difficult it is to really move on from it, or their memory, or just anything they taught to you. Or even like my parents, like there's this show on Netflix called the Midnight Hour. um this show also made me think more about it, and one of the episodes talked about the main character. He was talking with his mom, and he was talking about how he is 30, he's like 30 something, and his mom is 60, and that he's still not ready to accept the fact that she will die.
Huh.
That he looks at her and he thinks about all the memories and all the like the shitty times and all the good times, and he looks at her and he thinks, one day you won't be here, and I don't want that. Like, and for anybody, like with their relationships with any, like with a parental figure, shitty or not, like it still hurts. And
Sure.
it made me think, like, I don't know how I would react to it. I don't know if I'm ready for all of just us having a. I almost, well, I don't know. In my mind, I picture it as like an expiration date for us to just go. Cause
Sure.
I like living, I really do, and I like the different things and opportunities I've had, and I want to do more. But it sucks knowing that we're so fragile. We're so fragile, and so many things can just completely kill us. And that's, I guess it's, I've never been so afraid of death ever since like these things have been popping up in my head. And I don't know how to truly react to it.
I mean, it's not something I think you can prepare for.
I know, but I find it difficult to truly accept it.
It's unpredictable. You don't know when it's gonna happen, and it just happens.
But even at then, what do you do? During those moments, what do you really do?
Aren't there like 4 stages where like it's like the time, I forgot what the stages are, but there's like supposedly 4 stages. And like the first one is like the death process, the grief, the exception, I can't even pronounce it, the accepting of
Exception.
it, yeah. And then the moving forward part. So like people have to like go through those 4 process, but normally it's hard to get past the second stage for most people.
But I'm saying, like, us in that moment of like dying.
So like if you know you're dying,
or if something were to happen and you feel like I'm going to die.
So like a really bad car crash or something like that, and like you're in critical condition.
Yeah, and like that like I don't want to die, but because this is happening. Like,
you just gotta tell your body, bro, suck it up. No,
God, you fucking horrible doctor. Sir,
doctor, I'm dying. Oh, suck it up.
Sir, I'm having trouble. Oh wait, I can't say that. I was gonna say I'm having trouble to breathe. No, with the current times, we're still in pandemic. No, never mind.
Right.
Sir, I'm having trouble eating. Oh, then eat. I don't see what's the problem. I don't see what's the problem. Here, have some water. Here's a smoothie. But no, to what I was saying, like, like I said before, we're so fucking fragile. That is what boggles my mind. We've been on this earth for billions of years and have history of us being these big figures when drinking too much water can kill us. Eating too much of food or specific food can kill us. Too much of something can easily kill us. We're so fucking fragile. We're just specks in this huge universe. That just boggles my mind how we're just little flies in this whole giant, just big void. And the thing that scares me, well, it has been scaring me, is what's there afterwards? Because I grew up in a very Catholic,
There's only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out? Is that what you said? Next podcast, we're gonna be in death. We're gonna be doing this while dead. But
welcome to the Dead Podcast, everyone.
Continue it in death. But like that shit like it makes me think a lot. Like, I grew up in a very Catholic household, and as like life went on, I started like questioning it more, and going into like a Catholic high school, I got shit for questioning religion. Even in like church, I got shit on for questioning it, and the priest even told me like you should accept it, until like this one dude who he died from stomach cancer at the age of 30. He told me that I should question religion to have a stronger faith. I don't see myself as a religious person. I see myself as a very agnostic person. And I don't know, him saying that just made me really think more about, is there really a God out there? Is there, like, we've been on this fucking rock for so many years that how do we know we have like one true God? If we have so many, how do we know, like, out of all the catalog, this is the one that is real? And like, in this big giant void, like I said, mentioned earlier, why did they choose our little rock to make life, or to make a religion? Like, that's what makes me think, like, what it really is there afterwards? Is it just black, or is it what Jasmine was like pulling my leg earlier about, like, do we come back as a tree? Do we come back as a rock? Do we reincarnate? What is there really afterwards?
Do you sound like a robot on Jasmine's end?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, well, oops. But yeah,
damn, that's what the afterlife is, a fucking robot.
Did you understand that though?
Look at him go.
Did you understand what I said earlier?
No.
Slightly.
Oh my god, it's lowering.
What's your ping?
Okay, hello?
If only the coronavirus wasn't a thing, we could all just like meet up at someone's house to do this podcast.
Hi. I'm hoping that worked. Did it?
What?
Did it work?
No.
Fuck.
Bitch sounds like auto-tune.
Auto-tune. Hello.
Hi.
Is it working?
A little.
Okay, where did I start being a robot at? What part?
No, he's back.
Uh-oh. Where did I start being a robot?
I don't know.
Like, what part did I stop at? Or you don't know?
I couldn't tell you.
And Jasmine?
What
part did I start being a robot at?
Talking about what I said about being a rock, or all that junk.
Yeah.
The reincarnation or whatever it is.
Okay. So yeah. How do we know? How do we truly know? Because like there's a bunch of like different religions and shit, like different philosophical point of views, but we always try to find the answer of what we don't know, but that just makes more questions. Like, what do you guys think is out there?
I don't know.
Do you think
Trace?
I don't know.
Do you think there's life out there? Or like out of the whole life only began here?
I couldn't really tell you, honestly.
But like, when you look up at the sky, like, don't you think like there could be something out there, but we just don't know?
Maybe.
Or how long will it take for us to really find out if there is something out there? Since we keep trying to look for answers, how long will it be till then?
I'd assume a while.
But could it be during our lifetime? What's something you think could happen during our lifetime?
I die.
Besides dying, Jesus Christ, man. Besides that, what do you think? Because there's that like space thing, not SpaceX. Was it Space Force, where they're trying to make like a government in space, or trying to send
The thing
people?
Trump was talking about?
Huh?
The thing Trump was talking
I
about?
think he mentioned it.
Maybe the fucking Space Marines or some shit?
Like let's
Like Halo
let's say
shit?
they do that shit, and we're like Kylo Ren up in space, basically in Imperial Stormtrooper outfits.
Do we need a Master Chief in space?
Would you want to do that? Would you want to go out into outer space?
Nope.
Jasmine,
Probably not.
you rather stay here?
I've seen Interstellar.
That would require me to leave my apartment.
Exactly.
But the concept of time in that movie is so scary.
Or what's that one other space movie?
2001 Odyssey, Space Odyssey,
No.
or the Alien one.
No, not that. There's another one. Where like
Yo, if I saw some like Alien versus Predator shit, I would dip.
I forgot what it was called, but it was like, it's like a few years old. Where I forgot who starred in it, but it's like an asteroid hits like their space station
Armageddon?
and like a whole bunch of. No,
It came out when?
give me some time. I gotta Google.
Gravity?
Yes, that one.
Yeah, okay, one, I hate that movie because it's so fucking
I've never
boring.
even seen it.
You need to watch some
No,
more
that
movies.
movie actually
You
scared
need to watch
me.
some more movies, Trace. And two,
Yo, I watch Marvel movies.
Chief, no, I'm serious. You need to watch some more movies. And
Dude, I don't watch movies.
you should. And two,
I play games.
I do too, but I just I just watch a lot of movies, man. But like, you should. I really recommend you watch. If not, Gravity, I don't like it, but
Gravity scared me when I first watched it.
it is a good watch. If not, watch
that's-
Interstellar. Interstellar's so good.
Interstellar was confusing to me. That's another reason why I don't want to go.
The worst part is that I watched it on an airplane, and when they were like going through the dark hole, the black hole, like the whole airplane was going through some turbulence. So I started freaking
I
out.
don't know the last movie I watched.
So, and then
It might have been Jojo Rabbit.
oh, that's such a good movie. Okay,
Jojo.
it's such a good movie. It's about
It's about Hitler.
Yeah, they make Hitler, they like humanize Hitler.
Like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
An imaginary friend Hitler.
Because I mean, it's the kid, and he's like in Germany, so that's who he looked up to, and he saw him as like a hero. But then when he learned,
That's not true. I watched Ace Ventura.
but I say you should watch Interstellar. Interstellar is good.
I think I've seen Interstellar. I don't care for the type of movie.
The idea that in space, time is slower compared to the planets, and how it broke me when I forgot his name, Matthew McConaughey, his character started going through the audio logs, and he started seeing his daughter grow up, and he still looks the same as when he left, but his daughter is still on Earth, and she slowly starts aging through the recordings, and like that shit like hit me, and like it's like fuck, man. Like there's so much shit that like I think about, like what could we get to in our lifetime, like all this science fiction stuff, and also the idea of what's out there just really entices me and makes me wonder more about what's out there in life, and it makes me curious. It really makes me curious. And like you guys like give me shit for for some of the stupid stuff I do, but also like I don't know, I just want to live. I want to live. I want to at least do things, then ask myself later, why didn't I do it? Or man, what would have happened if I did do it? Because I don't want to question it later on. I want to do these things any way I can. Or if I have the opportunity, I want to take it. It's obviously like in moderation. Like if someone offered me Coke, it's not like I'm gonna be like, all right, well, you offered, give me the roll. Like I'm not gonna do that. I'm just like, if okay, that's a bad example. I was thinking like, oh, just jump off a cliff into like a lake. But then compared to Coke, I feel like I'd rather do Coke than jump into a lake, like off of a high cliff. But like, there's just so much I want to do. I want to live, and I want to do so many things without regret.
Right.
And the idea of just the world, I just want to. I guess I'm just realizing my own mortality, and it just kind of scares me.
Fair.
But honestly, I thought you guys would also like question your own mortality in a way.
And the only thing I'm concerned about with the dying is my story. Like I've told Ryan, if I were to ever die, he's in charge of finishing the stories. But it's like there's so much shit I've never written down, it's all just committed to memory, that it will never be complete if I never finish it myself, so that's the only reason I want to stay alive, is to finish it, really.
And
that's all.
If you were to pass, would you want that to be your memory? Would you want
my story?
Would you want people to remember you off of the story you had or you were writing?
Maybe. Well, if I were to die, I'd live on to my own stories. Like those are all my own original thoughts.
But who would find it? Who would you want to find it?
Anyone who's willing to read.
But who?
Quite literally anyone.
And how would you have someone, or how would someone at least acknowledge you were a person and willingly look for it? Willingly look for a reason to.
Well, I want to publish these stories one day. And they'll know I'm a person because they'll have my name on the fucking cover. So I mean,
I guess, yeah, that's true. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to think outside of the box, alright?
You're doing well, sweetheart.
Oh no, it's just... I want to at least make an impact in someone's life in some way or another.
I do not care. If I die, I die. I did something with my life, which was live, and that's all that matters. Whoopity-doo.
Goddamn. Fucking...
I mean, eventually... Dude, we all die eventually. That's the thing I always tell people. We all die eventually. It's gonna happen. We don't know when. We don't know where.
Yeah, but would you
we don't know how.
at least want to leave something behind?
Not really. I don't want to be remembered as anyone.
Would you...
Because, like, when you think about it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's the person that did this. Oh, but do you remember when this person did this, though? Which is, like, something bad related kind of thing. I think that's kind of weird.
But that's because there's people who are just so fucking spiteful, and they just, like, focus on the one negative when there's so much more that you could have done. Like, obviously, like, let's say, like, if you fucking diddled a kid, obviously that's something that's like, uh-oh, that's a big no-no. But, like, there's other things that are just...
Why is that your go-to?
Philip bleeped this out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, like, it's shit that just makes me wonder, there has to be at least something that you want to be remembered, or at least impact someone's life in one way or another, or be that person for someone, and at least have some lesson to teach someone. It doesn't have to be an actual fucking lesson, or it has to be something actually educational, but a way to live, a way to survive, a way to do anything. Just something that you are remembered by is what makes me want to strive for, makes me want to do that for someone.
Right.
And that's... I just want that in case if like our paths or something, I just want to at least be there for someone in one way or another.
Understandable.
Besides, you know, like, obviously accepting the fact that, like, oh, I'm dead, but, like, that's what I want. That's really what I want. But
okay, to each their own.
Pretty much that's my whole tangent on life and death, really.
Right.
I'm being serious. Like, this is literally my whole thing that I've been really...
So I don't have too much more to add.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Video Games.
What?
No, I'm saying...
What is that supposed to mean?
No, I'm saying Mr. Video Game doesn't have much to add.
Yeah, like, I know how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know what I want to do with my life. Like, I'm quite literally going to dedicate my life to helping people. That's what I'm going to school for.
But, like, anything, like, everything... If everything was so laid out so easily, everything would be a lot easier and simpler.
Sure, but life is full of surprises. You just gotta roll with the punches.
But even at that point, would you roll with what is against you? Would you rather...
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
I mean, there's always a choice. You just have to look for it.
What do you mean? Like, yeah, what do you mean?
There's always two sides to it. You can always look for the better alternative in things.
Right, but there isn't always a better alternative.
Depends where you look. Like, you can always just give up, or you can always just like keep looking for that better alternative.
Sure.
Because you could be a person who just accepts it and says, well, that's it. Or you can be a person that says, like, no, like, I want to see if there's more, and just keeps looking. And even at that point, if you can't find anything, look somewhere else. Like, if you're not happy with one thing, you have to keep finding, or even if you feel as if you are comfortable, I feel like it's right to look for even better opportunities.
That's fair.
To not just be comfortable in one place and just look for more. Like, I really don't want to go back into like the whole being alive thing again, but it's basically how it is, how I feel about it. Just looking for more things to just live to the fullest, really. Cause
I get that.
Wait, if you guys had a choice, would you guys, like, after like the end of like your life, would you like want to redo everything and like change your decisions on what you did?
no.
So I've answered this question before, and the answer is no.
I've done so much. I've done a lot of things I regret. I regret a lot of things. And I'm not happy with a lot of things I've done. But
I say like
all of that has at least helped me look for better, look for the better better choice for me. I've tried to look for better things. Of course there's going to be people who just are just sticking to the negative, or there's people who like even years down the line still get hold up to the negative things that once done. I think they're the saddest person compared to me. It sounds like very, very what's the word? I wouldn't say arrogant, but I can't find the word. Philip, if you know what I'm talking about, put word here as like Google Translate or Google Speak. But it's me knowing my mistakes and owning up to my mistakes, and me trying to be a better person makes me a stronger person compared to someone who is still holed up on the past.
sure.
Someone who's still hold on to the like still like on one's past mistakes, like even years down the line, they are the saddest person because they are unhappy with, or they are unhappy with the fact that they were unable to grow as a person. And that's how I see like most things with people who are so like holed up to the past. They're unable to really grow, or there's something that's holding them back from wanting to grow. I've done a lot of fucked up. I've fucked up a lot, and I like even high school. I could have really tried. I know I'm smart, but academically in that setting, I was just set to fail. But if I actually tried, I could have had more opportunities than what I had. But even at that, I still wouldn't have wanted to try, because that at least helped me grow and open my eyes of how unfair the education system is and how bullshit the school system is. And even though now I went through like so much shit, I'm still happy to have gone through the mud and my own personal hell, because I'm happy that I was able to at least better myself as a person.
Right.
Like even if I hurt others and even hurt myself more, or even become someone that I was ashamed of, I'm still happy that I was able to get out of that to be someone better, to be someone that I'm actually proud of being.
It's all understandable.
Now the next thing that I'm waiting for is to get canceled now.
Why?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Okay.
No, I don't want to do that. And you? Would you do anything differently?
I would say no, because I've been through a lot of shit in my life to the point where I think that's kind of set me on my path of what I'm doing with my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, as much as I'm not a fan of what happened, I'm content with what I'm doing now.
Plus, I feel that if I were to change something, the fall will be a lot harder. It will be a greater.
Mm-hmm.
My fall would be a lot worse. And what you and I, like, in our personal experiences, what we went through was hell. Like, I couldn't even imagine like what that would be like if we were to change anything. What about you, Jasmine? What would it be for you? Would you change anything? All right.
Pog.
Sorry. For me, I would probably change like a lot, in my opinion. I don't want to go into full details, but like
we can beep it out. We'll just put like Minecraft noises.
Oh my god, no. But yeah, I would change a lot from like personal lives and like people I've talked to, been with.
Mm-hmm.
You know, single.
Understandable.
Yeah. Damn, 37 minutes. All right. Well, do you guys think this is a good stopping point?
I would think so.
Jasmine?
I guess.
Or unless you guys want to keep going.
No, I'm a tad tired.
All right. Well, with that, we'll conclude with that episode. I think this is the 7th episode.
Mm-hmm.
3 away from double digits, and then we'll never do a podcast ever again. And
promise.
No, this is the 7th episode. Cool. All right. So, thanks for taking the time to listen to us talk about our dumb banter. As always, I'm Rowlet, and you can catch me on Twitter at Sir Rowlet, or on Twitch with the same handle. Not. Never mind.
I'm PuppetKat, and I have Mochi Pan as my handles for TikTok and
I wish you don't promote
Instagram.
The podcast.
Yeah.
What are the odds you do that?
I don't know.
Oh, well, fuck. You're on TikTok. I don't think you would count. All right.
Wow.
You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at VivixTales.
Fella put air horns after that roast. All right.
Sounds like it's bedtime.